Good morning. We are headed out to do a little Saturday morning thrifting. I don't have anything specific I'm looking for. I just am going to see kind of what's out there. I actually, that's not true. Actually, I am trying to find some bottles that I can use to make some infused olive oil with, using some rosemary that was given to me, and also maybe some jars to hold things like a salt scrub that will also use up some of that rosemary. So let's hit the trail and do a little thrifting. At this first thrift store, I saw this beautiful blue and brown platter, and I absolutely loved it. But I do not need another platter. At least that's what I kept telling myself. And there were a lot of beautiful things. Of course, I'm always attracted to the dishes, and I saw this adorable teacup. And I can't exactly read that. I think it was made in England. It was $3, but it did not have the saucer. So I left that behind. And I thought that sugar bowl was absolutely adorable. I think it's Syracuse china, and it reminded me so much of a pattern that my grandmother had when I was a little girl, and it really, really tempted me, but I resisted and I left it behind. Then I spotted this gorgeous bowl with those lemons on it, and I absolutely loved it. This clip is from my Goodwill, and the shelves were fairly bare, but I went straight for the glassware, which I have no business getting glassware. So I did show restraint and leave those glasses behind. There were no plates or other dishes that I saw that really interested me or caught my eye. However, amidst the clear glass, I saw this beautiful brandy snifter, which I thought was really so pretty. And it looked to be hand blown. It had a pontil mark on the bottom, which made me think that it was hand blown glass. I also thought these canisters were really cute. I do not need another set of canisters, but these were so pretty with the little fruits on them and in great condition. But I did show restraint again and leave those behind. That little baking dish was really cute as well. And then I also thought that this plate was very, very pretty. It reminded me of Italian pottery, but I do believe that it was made in China. Yes, there you can see is Terabella, made in China. But just a really pretty plate. And then, of course, there were some Christmas mugs and an assortment of Christmas items. Nothing that really interested me. I did like that little tree candle, but it looked like it had been melted. So that was pretty much what was on the shelf at the Goodwill. Okay, well, I am back from my thrifting trip, and unfortunately I did not find any of the things that I was actually looking for today. I wanted to find some bottles for the rosemary infused olive oil, or jars for my rosemary bath salts or body scrub. Didn't find any of those things. I did, however, find several little goodies that I thought I would share with you. It was not really a planned haul. I hadn't intended to get a bunch of stuff, but since I found some things, I thought I'd share them. First of all, let me just say that the sweater that I'm wearing is thrifted, not on today's trip, but it's this cozy kind of mauve sweater with these beautiful bell sleeves that I love, and it was only a couple dollars. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in seeing some clothing thrift hauls. I was thinking about doing clothing thrift hauls or thrifting for over 50 for clothing, because so often you see a lot of young folks doing thrift hauls of clothing, and not so many over 50s doing clothing thrift hauls. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that, and I will be happy to do that. And I know my sisters would as well. We do thrift a fair amount of our wardrobe.
All right, let me get started, and in no particular order. So this is from Goodwill. I'll try to see if I can remember where I got what and let you know. But at Goodwill, the first thing that I found was this beautiful Empoli brandy snifter. And I believe it is hand blown because there is a pontil mark on the bottom. And you see those in hand blown items, and it's a gorgeous kind of greeny gold color. I loved it. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it was too awesome to leave on the shelf for 59 cents. So I am going to try to insert some clips in here of how I style my thrifted finds. So if I figure out what I'm going to do with this or how I'm going to style it, I will include a clip of that in this video. But isn't this beautiful? Too nice to pass up. I really couldn't let it go. And I think with maybe some twinkle lights in there or some florals or something, it would be beautiful. I just loved it. Or even all by itself, it has a very sculptural quality, and it has this kind of optic glass that shimmers, which is why I think it would look gorgeous with some twinkle lights in it. So that was 59 cents at Goodwill. Also for 59 cents from Goodwill was this bowl. It has kind of that cubist pattern, this faceted look. I think possibly it's the base to a fairy lamp. I'm not 100% sure. It has that kind of starburst pattern on the bottom. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make a candle out of it, or use it as a candle holder with a pillar candle in it, like a beeswax pillar in there, or just make a beeswax candle. I just thought it would be so pretty with the light reflecting off of these facets. So that was also 59 cents at Goodwill. At my Goodwill, all bowls and cups and things are flat priced at 59 cents. I think plates are 99 cents. So that's why that was 59 cents. I have, in fact, in some other videos, which I'll try to link, have found Waterford crystal bowls for 59 cents, believe it or not. Okay, let's see. Also at Goodwill, I'm going to reach over here. I did find, I'm a sucker for tins, and especially Christmas tins. And I found this beautiful tin with this gorgeous poinsettia on the top and the sides. Beautiful red and green, just classic Christmas. And it opens, and when I opened it, there was another tin inside with the same design. Let me set this down. Sorry for that noise. With the same design, just a little bit smaller, and it also opens. And they appear to never have been used. They're incredibly clean. I have washed them already, but honestly, they were immaculate inside when I opened them up. So I love tins for giving gifts. So homemade cookies or treats, or maybe some of my bath salts inside there. I just think they make beautiful containers for giving homemade gifts. So I believe these were $1.99 for the pair. And then also at Goodwill, I got this muffin tin. And the reason I got this is that I'm going to be making some homemade fire starters. And that will be in a video. I'm not sure if that video will already have published by the time you see this, or if this is coming out first. But I'm going to be making homemade fire starters as gifts for my friends and neighbors. And my sister made them, and she saw the idea in a video from Linda Smith Davis at New England Fine Living. And she made them, and she said they were very fun to make, very easy, and made great gifts. And you make them in a muffin tin, which is why I got this. And I didn't want to ruin my muffin tin with the wax, so this was $1.99. So for $2, I have one that I can just use over and over for making the fire starters. So there was that item. Let's see. Oh, I did get another Christmas item. I got this box, and they are these beautiful cards featuring the Spode Christmas tree. It's absolutely beautiful. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's 3D, it's slightly raised, and it's that way on the cards as well. And it's an interesting story about the Spode Christmas tree. a Spode designer in 1938, Harold Holdway, was asked to create a design for the American market. And he had a dilemma because he had never seen a decorated American Christmas tree. So in his first sketch, he had the presents hanging off the tree. And then he thought to himself, well, won't those drop? So he went about creating another design after he heard that in America, the presents were under the tree. So he created another design, placing the gifts under the tree, but he also used a charming American icon in a delightful way, it says on here, adorning the top of the tree with Jolly Saint Nick. We find his design both unique and charming, as do Spode Christmas tree lovers the world over. So that is why on Genuine Spode, the tree topper is always a Santa, because Harold Holdway in 1938 created the design that way. So a whole brand new box, and these retail for $12.99, and I got them for $3.99 for the box, which was a great deal. I mean, it's practical and useful, and absolutely nothing wrong with them, totally unopened. Okay, I think that's everything from Goodwill. Now, the next place that I stopped was a charity thrift store, and I got several little things from that store. Let me look around here. Okay. The first thing that I saw when I stopped at the charity thrift store was this beautiful bowl. It's quite large. I'm going to hold it up, and it has this really lovely lemon design on the center of the bowl, and then this kind of, it looks sort of like a weather design around the edges. And I don't know that it's vintage. I'm not 100% sure. It may be vintage. It's by GTB Ceramica, and it's made in Italy. And I just think it's beautiful for a salad, a fruit salad, or a tossed salad. But what I'm going to use it for right now is to put my paper white bulbs in, I think. So I'll fill it with some stones and put the paper white bulbs in it, if I can find some paper white bulbs. They're apparently difficult to find this year. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do, although it seems almost too pretty to cover up that beautiful lemon design. I think I'm talking myself out of that right now. I may display this rather than cover it up with the paper whites. So I might have to find a different bowl to grow my paper whites in. But that was the first thing I got, and believe it or not, this was $3.99. Absolutely gorgeous and great size. Also from the charity thrift store, I got this adorable little teapot. And look at this. This is vintage, and let me see what the bottom says. Oh, it's Sakura. It's vintage Sakura, and it says Sonoma China by Sakura. And I guess it's supposed to be a blue apple, is what they said when I looked it up online. To me, I thought maybe it was a blueberry, but it's a blue apple. And I got this for $3.99, and I absolutely love it. It's little. You can see it's pretty small, but it's so adorable. And how cute will that be in some spring and summer decor? I just love it. And, you could use it to make tea for one if you wanted to. And when I looked it up online, I found one on Etsy, and it was $35. So I guess $3.99 was a pretty good price for this. And then the last thing I got at that particular thrift store is this beautiful brown transferware plate. It is Tonkinware by Royal Staffordshire, and that's spelled Tonquin. I hope I'm saying that right. Tonkin, probably. I'm thinking it's probably French, but I love brown transferware. Look how gorgeous that is. And it's extremely pricey, so I did pay up for it. This one plate was $8, and actually I didn't hesitate at all when I saw it for $8, because I've seen them go for as much as $45 for a single plate. So when I saw it, I just grabbed it as soon as I saw it. And you can believe me that I looked all over that store to see if I could find any other pieces, but I could not. It's not a big store, so I searched it totally end to end, top to bottom, and did not find any other pieces of the Tonkinware. But I'm will be on the hunt. This is my next collection of transferware, the brown pattern. So I was very happy to find that. All right, so I believe that is everything I got from that thrift store. The next place that I stopped was at a thrift store that's quite near my school that I work at. And I stop in there fairly often just to see what they have, because things change over there quite rapidly. They're always bringing in new things, and stuff flies off the shelves there. So I do stop in. I try to stop in once a week and just kind of look around. I don't always get something, but I'm always wanting to stop in to make sure I don't miss any fabulous things. I'm thinking, what if somebody donates a set of brown transferware dishes and I don't stop in and I miss it? So anyway, I did stop in there, and what I got from that thrift store were several books. The first book that I got is this country cooking cookbook. It is a cookbook that was produced by the Blooming Vale Baptist Church in Andrews, South Carolina. And there's some phenomenal recipes in this book. Truey is always looking for a great squash casserole recipe, and when I picked this book up and flipped through the pages, one of the first places that it opened to was a page that had several squash casserole recipes. So I thought, sold. I'm going to get this book. And I know that for Christmas, I will be looking through this to see if there are any fun side dishes or treats or other things that I might want to make for Christmas dinner. But it is the Country Cookbook. And I love cookbooks, and I love vintage cookbooks. I think this was from 1992. So 1989 is the date on the inside. So it is vintage, and I was very happy to find this at that thrift store. Put that down. I also found a copy of The Secret Garden, and the reason there's a glare on it is that it's wrapped in plastic, and it still has this little key necklace that came with it. Excuse me. That is, would have been a sweet little gift for a little girl, maybe a birthday or Christmas gift. And I have not taken the packaging off of it yet. I will take it off because I just want to have the book out, and I probably will read the book again because it's one of my favorites. But I also love it because the illustrations in this book are by Tasha Tudor, who was a Vermonter and lived for, I don't know if she was a native Vermonter, but she lived for many years in Vermont. And I love her artwork. I am on the hunt. I have been for a while on the hunt for her Christmas Joy book. It's just beautiful. So I always scour the book sections at thrift stores in search of Tasha Tudor and Beatrix Potter, two of my favorites, because the illustrations are just awesome. So The Secret Garden, I got that. And I believe books at this thrift store are $1.29. I also got this book of poems. It's called For My Daughter, and it is a whole book of poems that just are written by mothers for their daughters, or describing the love that they have for their daughters. And it was just absolutely so beautiful. And I thought, I think I'm going to get that and put this in my daughter Neve's Christmas stocking. She loves poetry, so I thought this would be perfect for her. So that is a Christmas gift. And then the last book that I picked up at this particular thrift store is this Emily Post book of etiquette, and it is so funny to look through. I mean, it has some awesome, advice, and it's a huge book of basically how to act and manners, and it's really fun to read through. And it is from 1942, and then on the inside, there is this inscription. And I love when you find stuff like that in books. And it says, "To Al from Russell, B. and Gail, Christmas 1944. So in 1944, Al got this book of etiquette for Christmas. And I remember seeing the Emily Post column in the newspapers when I was a little girl, and people would write in and ask manners questions or etiquette questions, and she would respond to those questions. So I just thought this was such a fun thing, and it's really cute to read through. And I mean, they're just all kind of funny things. What to wear when you're on a cruise, just the funniest things. But I couldn't pass this up. It says $5 on there, but that is not the sticker from the thrift store. This was $1.29 at that thrift store. All right, let me just look around and see what else. Just a couple more things, actually. So the last place that I went was another thrift store here called the Community Thrift Store. And I typically don't get very much there because, in all honesty, I think their prices are outrageously ridiculous. They're so overpriced. I mean, I've seen things cheaper actually at antique stores than you can find at that thrift store. So I don't go very often. I went today because my daughter asked me to go and look through the sweatshirts and the sweaters and FaceTime her while I was there. So she didn't want to go, but she wanted to see if they had anything. So while I was there, I just looked around to see if there was anything. Now, I saw a few things, but they were so overpriced. I mean, I think there was this little teacup I looked at. Honestly, it was a teacup and saucer, very cute, but it was $19.99. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you wouldn't even pay that probably at an antique store. So needless to say, I left that behind. But I did get, let's see. Well, I just got two things from there. So the first thing that I got was this rolling pin, and I got it because I loved the red handles, and I think that will look very cute in my utensil bowl or utensil canister with the red handles sticking out, and especially at Christmas time. I'm going to put it in there right now, actually. And like I said, at the end of this haul, I'm going to show you clips of how I've styled each of the items if I have styled them. So this is going to go in my utensils canister, and it will be perfect for Christmas time. And this was $3.49, which was actually, I guess, a good deal. I don't know if it's vintage. It may not be, but I just liked it with the red handles. So I got that. And then the only other thing that I got there, other than the sweatshirts for my daughter, was this tablecloth. This is a vintage tablecloth, and it's very, very cute. If I hold it up, it has apples on it, and this very kind of light yellow and white plaid or checkered background with these pretty apples. And it is an oblong tablecloth, and although I have a round table, fingers crossed, I think we may be getting a new table for our dining area. I've wanted a rectangular table for a while now, so we did see one at our local antique store that was a very good deal. So and we measured, and it fits. So I will keep you posted as to whether or not we go back and pick that up. But I'm thinking positively, and I picked up this really cute tablecloth to put on that. I think this will be beautiful in the summertime on the table with the yellow and white and the cherry apples, and maybe even into the fall time as well. So that is my unplanned thrift haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We are really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're very close, but we can use all the help we can get. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button if you have not already. Share this video with friends, like it with a thumbs up. It really helps us grow our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you and hope that your holidays are going well and that you are enjoying yourself and finding some time to relax and just sit back and enjoy the wonderful time of year that we are in. All right, everybody, thank you for sticking to the end. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when we do hit 1,000 subscribers, we are going to be doing a giveaway, which is super exciting. I think each of my sisters and I are going to thrift an item that we will be giving away to one lucky winner. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, get your friends to subscribe so that we can hit 1,000 subscribers and do our giveaway. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. One last thing, I actually forgot to include this in the earlier part of the haul, was a whole box of shiny bright ornaments, vintage shiny brights, or vintage Christmas ornaments, really, that I found at Goodwill for $4.99. And they are so pretty. There's this one right here that has this sort of lace embellishment, and then it has these glittery designs, roses and different flowers on it. And I love this minty green color. And then there's this one, which has these beautiful green and pink designs on it, and it's also kind of a silvery green. And I don't know if it'll focus on the tops there, but I did look at some of the tops and they do say shiny bright. So there's that one. Then we have a few that are just the solid colored glass balls, and they're on the top, if it'll focus. It does say shiny bright, made in the USA. So there's some blue ones, a red one. Then this one has some paint loss, but it's this kind of diamond shaped one. And then I love this one. It's one of those silk thread covered ones, and it has these pins that are holding little beads and then the snowflakes on it. And it's embellished. And I can remember my dad's mom, my Grandma Bunny we called her, making some of these ornaments for her tree. She had the sequins and the beads and the pins. So, so pretty. Then there's this champagne colored one. Get that with the checkerboard. The sun is going down, so it's hard to see, but it's a beautiful champagne color with the silvery, glittery design on it. And then there are two of those ones that I love in that minty color with the designs in glitter, the roses on it. And then this kind of harlequin or design, I guess you'd call it, with the pink, the dark pink and the light pink. So pretty. And then one of my favorites is this one that says Silent Night, and it has a little church on it. And I remember that my mom and dad had some of these exactly like this when I was a little girl. And to me, that is just so quintessentially Christmas. The church with the snow falling and Silent Night. We used to walk up the street to go to midnight mass at this little tiny church in the town where we grew up. So pretty. And it was always so quiet. And especially if it had snowed, it was just so beautiful. And if the stars were out, just lovely and perfectly what Christmas is all about. So that was one of my finds at Goodwill. And I'm so pleased with it. I put them all in this beautiful hurricane vase. And I just think they look so beautiful in there. Just simple, but elegant. I love it.
And here's a look at how I styled my plate and the red handle rolling pin and my canister of other utensils. And here is an example of how you could style the brandy snifter. And then finally, here's a look at the tablecloth and the little teapot. I think they look adorable together. Thank you so much for staying to the end and watching this video. We really appreciate each and every one of you. On the screen are a couple more videos by Relatively Refined we think you'll enjoy.